Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, this is Rock Hard Ranch. We have a small but growing herd of cow-calf pair cattle. We are slowly working our way into the registered Black Angus game. We're just trying to grow our herd one set of hooves at a time, and we have been MIA for a while. We have not posted a video giving you guys any sort of an update in well over 3 months now. A lot has happened in those 3 months, everything from a second bull to 2 cattle herds, fencing projects, pen projects, trying to get first crop hay done, torrential downpours, and everything in between. So we're gonna get everybody caught up with this video. Behind me here is our heifer herd. We're gonna start this video off with the second bull that we bought for 2026 calving season. So we bought a second bull. If you've seen some of our past videos from this spring, we were really on the search for even just a one bull, so it is kind of crazy that we ended up with 2. Early in 2025, we found out that we were going to have to find our own bull. The bull that we had used in previous years was no longer going to be an option for us, so we had to go on the hunt to find our own bull. And if you saw that video, I will try to link it down below or up on the screen or something like that, so you can click on that video because it shows us going to the auction and then bringing that bull home. We brought our first bull home, but then we soon realized that we had too many cows for just that one bull to breed. If we had just stuck with that one bull, he would have had to breed somewhere around 30-35 cows, breeding everything from heifers to our full-grown cattle. And his numbers would have been fine to breed that range of cows as far as like the heifers to the full-grown cows, but it was just too many cows for him to service. And this breeding season is his first breeding season. So we decided to better our odds, we would get this guy. So now the numbers are a little bit reasonable. Our first bull will breed somewhere between like 20 and 25 cows, and this guy will breed somewhere between like 10 and 15 cows. Our first bull is going to be used to breed our larger cows, and now the second bull is going to be used to breed our smaller cows and our heifer herd. I'm going to throw some numbers up on the screen of the EPDs for both bulls so we can kind of compare what they look like. Honestly, they would both work for both herds. Neither of them have poor numbers to be able to like run them on only one set of cattle. Starting with the CED, the second bull has a stronger number. He's sitting at a 10, whereas our first bull, he's sitting at a 7. Then moving on to the birth weight, our first bull has a plus 1.0 and our second bull has a negative 1.1. There is a bit of a difference in the milk number. We prefer the milk number of bull number 1, being that it's a little bit lower. The plus 37 on the second bull is a little bit high for us, especially when we have a couple of our registered cows that also have a high milk number. It just leads to other issues like mastitis. Looking at the dollar C, they both sit really well. Bull number 2 sitting at 319 puts him in the top 15%. So we are really happy about that trait for him. And then lastly, I pulled up the docility for both. You can see bull number 1 is a plus 36. He is in the top 1% for docility. And then bull number 2 sits pretty well too as a plus 21. I will say though that the plus 36 docility for bull number 1 is not everything though, because he is friendlier maybe than he should be. He will most definitely just kind of like walk right up to you, and you don't know if he's coming at you because he wants to come at you, or if he's coming at you because he's curious, or if he's coming at you because he's friendly. The last thing that I'll talk about with these bulls is their age. Bull number 1 is younger than bull number 2, which is kind of funny because bull number 1 is being used for our larger cattle and bull number 2 is being used for our smaller cattle. At date of service, meaning the date that we put them out with each of their respective cattle herds in June, bull number 1 was about 18 months old and bull number 2 was about 22 months old. But both of them are really nice looking animals. As far as our registered herd goes, we have 6 registered cows that are going to be bred this year. Bull number 1 will breed 4 of those cows. Bull number 2 will breed 2 of those cows. The 4 registered cows in with bull number 1 will have their second calf in 2026. And the 2 registered cows in bull number 2 will have their first calf in 2026. They are true heifers. When we put these 2 bulls together, they really didn't cause too much ruckus. As you can see here, this is kind of the worst of it. There was no destruction, no chaos. They were just kind of like cool cucumbers. And I like to think that their higher docility levels contributed to this. And we're thankful nobody did any fence rearranging. I have nearly no footage of hay season 2025, but here's a little snippet that I got of us cutting the oats. The numbers of hay season were a lot better than the process that it took to get to them. It was torrential downpour after severe thunderstorm, rainstorm, all summer long, barely any breaks in between to get hay cut, raked up, and have it be dry at that. As I get this video up, it is September, and we are done with our first crop hay, but we have not started our second crop hay. I know a lot of people in this region had a hard time getting hay up purely because the amount of rain that we got and the amount of moisture. The humidity was so high and there was next to no wind. First crop started a lot later than it should have, and it went a lot longer than it should have too. In the middle of it all, my dad's buffalo bull decided he was going to get out and try to take on EJ. It is one thing when your cattle bull gets out. It is another thing when your buffalo bull gets out. Here are a few snippets of some trees that he decided he was going to rub up on when he got out. It went from summer to fall in the blink of an eye around here. We've been working on a continuous fence project in between making first crop hay, and we're just about done with it. So we're trying to get most of our home pasture continuous paneled. The barbed wire just has not held up over the years, and we've redone it multiple times and finally decided to just bite the bullet and put up continuous fence panels. So we have this south line nearly completed, except for where this gate is here. We're going to put a bigger gate in. Today we are finishing up this west line. So yesterday we just did this little bitty piece up to the waterer. Today we're going to finish that piece over there, and then we had already finished on the other side of the barn over there, the east line. We're going to leave that north line this year. In the future, that very well might get done, but the whole pasture is getting reconfigured. We've had some trees go down with some high winds that we've had this summer. Those got to get out of here. We moved the bunk feeders over there on this west side of the barn. We're going to put up an alley behind the barn. Just little odds and ends of things, reconfigure stuff just as our herd is growing, because it's not the most functional as it is right now. We went out to Piers today and picked up a couple of these freestanding larger walk-through gates that we had a guy custom build for us, and then a few more continuous panels because we're going to redo like the goat area. These freestanding gates are going to go kind of in the catch pen area where we round up cows. We have a preg check vet visit here in, I don't know, 3 weeks or something like that. And this is just another way for us to kind of go from catch pen to catch pen to get them in the barn. So we just got home getting everything unloaded. It'll probably be a little while before we get this all set up because we just have a couple other things to do. And we have to adjust over in that pen back to the east of the barn. But they're really, really nice, really heavy duty, really convenient. We're gonna go set them aside and we can take a closer look. And then this set of continuous panels, not quite all of them, I think 6 out of the 8, they're gonna be used for an update to the goat pen. Right now we just have like 16-foot cattle panel there, and it just doesn't look really nice, and we just haven't had a chance to get to it over the last 2 years since we've had the shop and had the lean-to and the area for the goats. So now I kind of finally figured out what I wanted. We kind of finally came up with a good plan and what we think is going to work. So this will be what my goat pen is going to be out of structurally. We're still going to have to put some sort of panel on the inside because obviously the goats can probably get through this. If not, the adults for sure, the babies will be able to get through there. But we'll put some sort of panel on the inside, something that looks nice and neat. But yeah, lots of big exciting things. So this first one is an 8-foot to the outside of the frame, and that back one is a 6-foot to the outside of the frame. They welded the little latch system on here, so you can just hook it with a chain. They'll hook into the 24-foot freestanding panels, standalone gate system. Easy to move, easy to use. Since it's taken me forever to get this video up, more things just keep happening. So this morning, our first load of pit run got delivered for leveling out the area by this goat pen. When we put up our shop in 2023, we put a lean-to on it, which is specifically only for the goats. And we really just made this makeshift pen. And now we're finally to the point. You saw earlier in the video that we made it out to piers and got a few more continuous panels. Those panels are going to be used to make this a more permanent, pretty looking goat pen. But some groundwork has to be done first. So I think we're going to get 3 loads of pit run to level this out. I'm pretty sure it's going to go out 32 feet from the building. And there will be 3 pens by the time we're done. That's going to be a different video because I cannot keep dragging this on. But here's just a first look at one of the next projects. We made it out to Motley to pick up a couple new gates for here so we can fix this disaster. Somebody at some point, I don't know who it was, if it was the bull or if it was Moo, the little mini Hereford that we got, went up underneath these, bent them, and they're not cheap gates, but they're Tartar gates and they're not heavy duty. So we went out to Stenberg Supply, picked up new heavy duty gates so we can get them hung, and then we no longer have to have, you know, panels on the outside of our gates because those are hanging on by a prayer. Whoever did it really did a number to it, and as you can see behind, we're about losing our minds with the rain this year. If we get any more rain, I think we might just pull our hair out. So we have 2 12-foot gates to hang, 3 uprights in this gate. That one only has 2 and they're light duty. This is a heavy gate. These are way heavier gates than those Tartar gates. And just like that, 2 new gates are hung. They function and they look a lot better than what we had here before. It took us way too long to get out to Motley and back with an empty trailer so we could pick these up and get these up. I mentioned earlier in the video that we got out to piers to get a few more continuous panels to be able to put an alley on the back side of the barn, and this past weekend we were able to work on that and get that pretty well finished. So when the pit run was delivered for the goat pen, we also had a load of pit run brought out to the barn so it can go down back by this alley. So let me walk you through it to show you what we got. So first thing we have here is an 8-foot gate opening, and then we have our bunk feeders placed back here, which is going to be a lot more convenient for feeding grain. We ran out of time, so this side isn't completely cleaned up yet, but all of this will get organized and moved, and all these weeds will get round up and tore out of here. So right now I'm walking through the west side of the barn in the alley, and then as we get to the corner here, we finished up the continuous panel back here as well. So now this is the north side of the barn. There always was an alley back here, but it was made up from barbed wire fencing, and the barbed wire fencing, as I've talked about in this video, just did not hold up over time, and it just was a mess. It was a cluster of a mess. So now we have nice, pretty continuous fence panel back here. I wish I would have got more of a before because there were some like invasive trees back here, itchweed, pigweed, just some odds and ends of stuff that we had back here. We have an 8-foot gate right here, and then if I walk down the alley, you'll see another 8-foot gate right here. This little section's not finished yet because we don't want to cut a continuous panel in case we end up with a spare piece that we can place here. And then we have another 8-foot gate right here. And this 8-foot gate is just going to live here until it dies because it was free and it is pretty thin and it is pretty cheap. And once it dies, we'll put a new heavier duty one in here. But for the time being, it works. And then what we will do out here is we will put freestanding 24-foot panels and probably make a couple catch pens on the north side of the barn here where these gates are, because these gates run into this alley. This alley runs into this gate. These 2 gates connect, and that rounds the corner to the barn. And then when we were thinking about the layout of how we were going to do these catch pens back here with these gates, we decided that what we would do, since the cattle are going to run from the pens into the barn, these are 8-foot gates and they open up to the wall. They don't swing freely. So let's just say we're in this imaginary pen right now. We need to run a cow into the barn. The gate just opens up to the barn. The cow runs into the alley. She's only got one way to go. We're gonna call it quits with this video. That was a lot of updates spanning from September to May. If you guys made it through this far into the video, please subscribe to our channel, like our video, and we will see you guys in the next one.